What is good, guys? Welcome back to Water Dragon. Today I'm finally back with part 2 of my last video, where today I'm going to be talking about the top 3 best U20 players in each major blue lock stat, and today we're going to be doing speed, defense, and offense, some very interesting stats. But before we get into the video, I want to take this moment to make sure that all of you are subscribed to me, since 96% of people that watch my videos are not subscribed. So if you could, that would help me reach the road, and it will help me on the road to 2K. And without any further ado, on with the video. So for speed, my number 3 is Michael Kaiser, my number 2 is Zontetsu, my honorable mentions go to Corona and Shido, and my number 1 would obviously be Chigiri. I feel like speed is a little bit of a less underwhelming stat, since especially for like the third place position, you could either go with any of the three. But I literally just went with Kaiser, like basically solely off stats, since Corona had 90 speed and Kaiser had 91. Also, Kaiser is one of my favorite characters, but like speed is like, besides like Zontetsu and Chigiri, there's not that many people who have speed, like their main weapon. You could argue Corona's is, but he also has short passes and stuff. And number 2, I'm going to have to go with Zontetsu. He has the fastest acceleration in the entire U20 category and has been shown to be super speedy ever since the first selection. And with that left shot, if he actually got character development, he could become a dangerous character. But like, it's not looking like it in the PXG game right now. And then at number 1, we have the Red Panther himself, Chigiri Hyoma, whose literal like skill set is based solely on speed. It's been like this since the first selection, and it hasn't changed because it's just such a dominant weapon, especially considering that he also has good dribbling and decent passing along with his 44 Panther snipe. His speed can easily get him goals. And you can see here that he can easily just use his speed to get past players, like he got past Kunigami and Isagi. And then it's been happening for a long time. Like, he got through Rin and RU in the 4v4. And this was a point when Rin was like completely overpowered, and like no one thought that Rin could be beaten. So like, that's very impressive in its own right. Next up, we'll be going for defense. Defense, number 3, I'm going to go with the Raichi, which does have some recency bias since he's been doing pretty good this PXG game. But then the top 2 are pretty obvious. Number 2's got to go to IQ, and then number 1 is the new Gen 11 defender, Don Lorenzo. And the honorable mentions go to Nico and RU. And you could argue, like I said in the last time, you can argue between number 3 and the honorable mentions, but I don't feel like you can really argue between the placements for 1 and 2, since like they're kind of definitive for both defense and speed. But like, yeah. So I will go with Raichi slightly. He does have a 90 defense stat, and this was before he even played a game, so right now it might even be even higher. And he's also shown to be the best at dueling in the entire Blue Lock facility. As we saw, he could even limit Snuffy's options in the Ubers game, and Snuffy is literally the number 1 player in the entirety of Blue Lock. So like, that is a very, very impressive in its own right. Even being able to stop one play from Snuffy is impressive. Like, protractor defense was really good. I mean, Isagi did make it up. And the funny thing about Blue Lock is that you could genuinely argue Isagi to be a top 5 defender. Like, you could argue Isagi over Nico based on feats, because Isagi has so many defensive feats. And even in this game, Hiyori is cooking on defense now, since like Bastard Munchen's defender have never done anything. Like, literally in the Ubers and Manshine games, Isagi and Kaiser were carrying the defense. And now they have Hiyori too. So it's literally just the Metavision users carrying. But like, they also have Raichi now. But number 2, I'm going to have to go with Aiku. He has a 93 defense stat, which is the best in Blue Lock. I mean, the best out of all the Japanese players. The only other person with a 93 defense stat is Gagamaru, and that's more for goalkeeping. And goalkeeping, I mean, you could implement it into defense, but like, still. And ever since his introduction, IQ has been an absolutely overwhelming defender. In the U20 game, he was basically carrying them and like controlling every other defender, and he was a perfect captain. And he also continued this in the Ubers game, where he was able to stop Isagi on multiple plays, and he also happened to lock down Kaiser. And his like snake defense, I'm not sure what to call it, it's really effective, and he's definitely the second best defender in the series. But number 1 has got to be Don Lorenzo. because of just how hard he pocketed Kaiser throughout the game. As y'all know, I am a really big Kaiser fan, and he's my second favorite character after Nagi, of course. But like, Kaiser completely like got cooked this game basically. Like he did have that one like fabulous goal, but that was like the 1 second Lorenzo was off him. He was pocketing Kaiser. Kaiser literally kept saying that he kept getting in the way, that he's even better than the last time he played him, and that he needs to steal a goal since he can't play freely with Lorenzo man marking him. This is the first time we really saw Kaiser be defeated since he was so dominant in Manchan and Barca, in my opinion at least. And a big feat in itself is that he literally just blocked Kaiser impact casually when Kaiser was literally in his range. And it's just like Manshine. There's 3 defenders, 4 defenders. No, 1 is Kunigami, but like you could basically count that as a defender with how Bastard Munchen works. He was easily going to hit it past all of them. And then Lorenzo just spawns in last moment and takes the fastest shot swing in the world to his face. And all he does is say, ow, and then starts defending again. It's actually like, I don't even know. This man's another breed. And then finally, the moment y'all have all been waiting for, probably the most important stat in Blue Lock, we have offense. So normally, I know I do 3rd place and 2 honorable mentions, and I have been saying that they're really close. But for this one, I literally could not decide for 3rd place, so I literally just put it as a tie between Isagi and Rin, because what's it called? I would definitely put Rin at 3rd, but like Rin just hasn't done enough in the PXG game to convince me to completely put him above Isagi. So for right now, I'm going to keep them at a tie. And then the honorable mention will go to Baro, as he's a very effective striker. And then number 2 is Sayatoshi. And number 1 is Michael Kaiser, yet again, just like shooting. My goat, for real. So first of all, we're going to be talking about Isagi. Isagi had a 94 offense stat without even scoring a singular goal. He got man of the match in the Manchan game without scoring. And Isagi, he's just such a big threat on the field that he can literally do whatever. It's actually kind of crazy, to be honest. And I feel like he's like, I don't even know what to say, because he's just like, he's just amazing. And what's it called? Now he can also get the shots off for his team and score the goals like he's always wanted to for so long. Like his lefty shot weapon, I don't think any of us were expecting that when we first read that, for real. So like, it was actually kind of crazy, and it's not even the craziest thing he's done, since in the PXG game he just took it to another level. And this is literally like the thing that's like made me put him at a tie with the Rinatoshi and not just put him as an honorable mention with the Bar, because this weapon is like actually kind of crazy. So like, you can't even tell what leg he's gonna shoot with, because what's it called? He just fakes it and then just volleys it in with his right past Rin and Kaiser, and what's it called? Gets the 2-gun volley goal to make the score 1-1. So like, he's a very impressive player. But like, I also can't put him definitively over Rin, because Rin's just been such a dominant player for so long. Like we saw with his destroyer mode, he casually dropped a hat trick on Manshine Shady, and what's it called? He just like cooked Nagi basically. And he also, and his curve shots are absolutely like, they're just so good. Like, this is back in like 170 or something, or like 160 something. He dropped 2 goals on the best defense in the NEL2, just like Isagi. So, and he has 6 goals total, which is either tied for the second highest goal scorer in the NEL. So you do have to give him his bread, for real. And way back in the second selection, he was stated to be a next level monster who can create infinite possibilities all by himself. So he doesn't even really need the team to work with him. And then at number 2, I'm going to go with Sayatoshi, because he's just such a dominant player. Like in last video, he was number 2 for both dribbling and passing, just because, and now he's number 2 for offense too. He's just the number 2 demon, for real. But like, he's just such a dominant player, and we still haven't seen the full extent of his abilities, since we only got to see him in the U20 game where he wasn't trying the entire game. And he still, as a midfielder, he got this shot off. So like, this is such an impressive angle. This is almost like, it's such a hard shot to score from, and he casually just did that while being a midfielder. He's not even trying to be a striker anymore, and he can still make goals like that. And the scary part is that's not even his main weapon, since his dribbling is absolutely crazy, like I talked about last video with Isagi just saying that he's too good. and easily just nutmegging Rin, who was like the dominant force of the series before meeting Sai in the U20 game. Casually just nutmegging him. And it doesn't even stop there because his passing is another breed too. Like, it might not be on the level of Charles, but like it's still up there. Like, you can see here, he pinpoints the pass so perfectly where it was literally 4 centimeters off for Chigiri, and Shido got the goal and then made it 2-2. So he was basically single-handedly carrying the U20 Japan team against a Blue Lock, a very motivated Blue Lock team. And even though this is pre-NEO Blue Lockers, that's still pretty impressive in its own right. But it's not as impressive as what the #1 character has done. The German goal, Michael Kaiser, an absolute demon with so many weapons. Like, as I stated back during the shooting stat, his Kaiser Impact, the fastest shot swing in the world, where Isagi couldn't even see how it worked at the beginning. And then his tremendous goal against Manshine, scoring against 6 defenders, just casually saying nice people with, and he's the only like player that we've known right now to be able to use both Predator Eye and Metavision, which is quite crazy in its own right, since those are probably the 2 best eyes like that are like confirmed right now, like skill eyes. Just look, the 6 defenders, like I said. And then that's not even top 2 in his craziest goals with this chapter, because it's called most probably the best goal in Blue Lock, the bicycle kick against Ubers, where he's literally falling down after getting fouled, and there's 4 defenders away from the goal, and he somehow gets a Kaiser Impact off, and nutmegs Aiku, mind you, who is one of the best defenders in Blue Lock, like I said, and gets it past the goalie, but the goalie's kind of a bum, but still. That's another insane goal to take Bastard Munch in the lead. And then what's it called? Finally, to like shut up the doubters, we saw someone literally comment, when I put Kaiser #1 for shooting above Rin and Baro, I do it. This man, Eggs Lever, if death 5441, said, bro, watch the Magnus and put Kaiser #1. And boy, did this take age horribly. And I'm actually like laughing at this kid right now. So if you're watching this video, I actually kind of feel bad for you. Because what's it called? After chapter 266, no one can talk anything bad about the Kaiser Impact Magnus anymore. Because my goal just made an amazing goal with it. Curving past 4 defenders were on him. Rin, Charles, and Karasu, and like one more, I'm pretty sure it was Nanase, and he managed to do the Kaiser Impact with a curve. So this is basically the fastest shot swing in the world with like Rin and Sai's shooting ability. So like no one can argue that he does not have the best shooting, and with that he definitely has the best offense too, with both Metavision, Predator Eye, Kaiser Impact Magnus, and and he's also one of the fastest players in Blue Lock, and his off the ball movement. So Kaiser right now is fundamentally overpowered, and I don't see how, and I'm very interested to see how Isagi's gonna overcome it, because I don't see how he is right now. But like, it's Isagi, anything can happen with my goat Isagi, for real. And then that celebration itself is pretty cool though for the goal, but like it's not like the best that we've seen in the series, but it's definitely up there. And if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for some more content. I'm sorry for not doing the discussion post video yet, but I'll definitely try to get that out in the next week. And if you want to, make sure to join my Discord server, as we're trying to re-alive it again, since the channel's about to become, we're about to go very crazy with the channel. So be sure to join my Discord, and I'm also taking applications for mods right now. So if you can get level 10 in the server and just DM me and ask me about being a mod or anything, that's also good. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.